Alrighty, so as most of you guys know, I have been using one of the earlier Gen 1 EC tuner brakes for a little while now. I think I've had this, I think at least for a year. I might have had it for 2 years, but been using it. I've used it on my I've used it on virtually all the rifles I've had, and I've really enjoyed it. So, Eric Cortina reached out to me and offered to send me a couple of the new next gen tuner brakes. So that's what I have here today. So this is just going to be a quick kind of unboxing, kind of talking about the difference between the two. And again, as I said, he sent me two of them, both of them in black nitride 6.5mm and 5/8 24. Now they come pretty neatly packaged. The package has changed just a little bit since the first one I got. As we can see here, this one here took a little bit of damage somehow in this box, but the tuner brake itself is fine. The plastic did its job and protected it, but we'll pull out the other one here, which the container did not crack. Now this is the smaller one with just 3 ports, but anyway, the packaging is pretty neat, right? It comes in pretty much I guess what you'd call a pill bottle with what looks like a prescription on there, and then obviously we've got our QR code there that you should scan to understand how to install this, and just a pretty neat little box. I don't think the first one I had all this information on it, which is pretty cool. So pretty easy to come out. They're packaged with some cotton balls, which keeps the tuner brake safe so it doesn't get damaged. And like I said, as you can see here, this is the smaller, the newer version that only has 3 ports. This one has the lack of a taper here too, which I think maybe diameter of this, the whole entire diameter of this is a little bit different. Let me pull out the other Gen 2 tuner brake here. Let's kind of compare them. We'll kind of compare all 3 of these here. Yeah, so there's the Gen 2, the original one, or the original size, or the 4-port, I guess we'll call it. And then there's the smaller one. So yeah, definitely the diameter of the brake itself is a little bit smaller. I know when Eric reached out to me, he said this one was kind of designed to go on, you know, some hunting rifles or ARs or something like that, something that's a little bit lighter. So it looks like, yeah, all the way across the diameter is smaller. So this would be perfect going something a little bit more lightweight. Hunting rifle, I think that's what it's designed to do. But as we can tell, I think functionally they're pretty much the same. We've got basically the new part that makes these the next gen is the ports are a little bit bigger, right? So if we compare Gen 1 on the bottom to Gen 2 on the top, the ports are a little bit bigger and different shaped, I think, to make recoil mitigation a little bit better. And then they've got the design where the first port kind of shoots the air out to the side, kind of makes almost like a curtain, so then these other 3 ports don't hit you in the face. Now on my Gen 1, I haven't had any problem with this. I've felt like it, you know, mitigated recoil just fine. But if we look at the inside of these designs, you can tell that they're definitely a little bit different. So I think this one's supposed to be a little bit better for recoil mitigation. Again, the Gen 1 I never had a problem with. I thought it was a good brake. I enjoyed using it. I put it on my 6BRA because I thought it was the best brake that I had. So anyway, now we don't have any of the tension screws. We just have a spring, which, woo, that spring's pretty stiff, so that's pretty cool. And that's so we can adjust and we don't have to worry about that thing spinning, and we don't have to worry about those tension screws anymore. So obviously once we get out to a certain point, we don't have any more tension, so we're not going to want to go out too far. It looks like, is there also a rubber O-ring in there? Yeah, it looks like there's also a rubber O-ring in there too to keep things out of the threads. So again, it's going to be the same thought with this one in kind of moving that tuner to kind of tune the load. Now again, this is the one that I'll probably throw on some of my more recoil cartridges, maybe like 6 Creedmoor or 6.5 PRC. The real interesting one here, to me, I didn't realize how much smaller that was going to be. I know he had told me that when he was going to send it to me, but that thing's pretty lightweight and a little bit shorter as well. So that would be pretty sweet to throw in a hunting cartridge with a thin barrel. This will probably go on my 6mm ARC. It's got a thinner barrel. It's a Savage, and it's actually what I've used to hunt. So this will probably go on there, and I'm sure with the light recoil 6 ARC, it still looks like it would manage recoil pretty well. We're only missing 1 port, and it should be pretty good for that. Again, I believe this is exactly the same on the end here. We've got the same kind of mechanisms to go ahead and use the tuner. It looks like we just have a smaller weight. than we have on our larger one here, which makes sense. This is probably going to go on generally a skinnier or lighter profile barrel, so we probably need less weight to go ahead and tune that. Both of these are in 6.5. You're going to see both of these on the channel. We're going to do all kinds of testing with these. I know with Hornady's recent podcast talking about how tuners don't work and all that stuff, I tend to believe they do, but that's just based on my personal experience. This one here, my Gen 1 tuner brake, I threw this on my Mossberg, which had traditionally shot really poorly. Threw it on there one time, did one tuner brake test, and I forget what we got, 3/4 MOA or something like that, which was really good for that gun. It was one of the best groups I'd ever shot with that gun, and you can't tell me that's just a coincidence that day that I screwed this on there. So I look forward to testing the Gen 2s. I just wanted to thank Eric for sending these to me. Pretty sweet looking brake. I mean, really, I thought this one was a nice looking brake, but now comparing it to the next gen tuner brake, wow, these are pretty sweet. Just all the lines and things like that, they're just a little bit more refined. The design of it's like just looks better. It's nice not to have to worry about those tension screws, which they were never an issue for me. This one right now is on tuner 3, the old one, and I basically, after I got the setting, I just tightened those down a little bit more so it's a little bit more snug. But tension screws, they worked, but it looks like the spring and the O-ring is going to work even better because there's some good tension on that, but it's still easy enough to turn. So that's going to be a pretty nice addition. So I think we'll get a little bit more recoil mitigation, more weight on here. We should be able to tune a little bit easier, and I just look forward to testing these. So just want everybody to know that I did get these for free. I didn't pay for them, but I did buy this one with my own money, and I had planned to buy more of them at some point in time when I, needed them for another rifle, because as far as the brake goes, self-timing nut, super nice, and to have that little bit of ability to tune on the end there, I basically have just used the tuner rather than using overall length, and I've found very satisfactory results with that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different. I don't really do unboxing videos, but I want to do an unboxing video of this because 2 new cool things coming in. Had to show them on the channel in a little bit more detail before I go through and do a whole bunch of shooting with them. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.